Hi everyone and welcome back. Today we're continuing this little mini-series looking at my new EP for Perspectives, and this time it's time for track 3, A Hearth for Cold Bones. If you've not heard this one yet, I thoroughly recommend you check it out at the links in the description. This track's a little bit different because it's the only one that I had no ideas at all when I started making it. No idea what kind of shape it was going to take. But I knew that the basis of the track was going to be that this big wood-burning stove, which was the only heating that we had where we were staying. It kept us really warm, but every morning we would need to stoke it up again for the day ahead. And I noticed while it heated up, it made loads of really interesting musical noises as all the bits of sort of metal in it changed shape and expanded and moved around. And on top of all the crackles of the fire and everything. So, of course, I stuck my recorder in it and sampled it. I think it goes without saying that you should be very careful if you're going to try this at home. My recorder did survive the ordeal, but listening back to the recording, there are a lot of worrying pops and crackles and handling noises as the plastic and the capsules and everything heated up. So just be very careful. I didn't really know what I was going to do with these samples, so I just dropped them into Ableton and kind of started scanning through, looking for interesting things that I could make into loops. And the first one I picked out is this one. And that carries on throughout the whole piece. It's the only one that does. And then on top of that, I've found 3 other loops which kind of come in at various points throughout the piece as it evolves. Some of these I've put resonators on just to emphasize some of the more harmonic elements, and some of them are just as they are. So the first one is this one, which was already quite interesting. I love that kind of little metal clank in there. I'm not sure where that came from, but I like it. So this one I put some resonators on just to add something to it, which is kind of quite a nice sort of fast clicky loop. And those resonators really add to the metallic quality. This was the third one. So they're all rhythmic, but each one has kind of a different rhythmic feel to it, a different rhythm, a different kind of pulse, a different time signature almost. And this was the kind of the tricky thing about putting this piece together was I had all these components, but I needed them to fit together in a way where the structure felt natural. I spent loads of time chopping up loops and moving them around and changing the lengths of each kind of section until I had something that I was happy with. I also used a couple more sections of that fire recording. Firstly, I chopped up a really tiny bit of it to make a little percussive MIDI loop. So that's just a fraction of a second, but it's pitched, so that adds a little bit of interest. And also this sound, which is one of the more harmonic sounds from the fire recording, kind of metal clank that I've fed into the Pigment's granular engine, which is lovely, which is amazingly powerful. I love the way that fits so nicely with all the other metallic sounds in the piece. For the melodic side of things on this track, again I fed a bit of the fire recording into the granular engine in Pigments to create this kind of glassy organ type sound. I really like the fact that it fades in and evolves quite slowly. I wanted the melodic aspects of this piece to feel like a really gentle progression, like when you're in front of the fire, just kind of slowly warming up and everything's just kind of slowly coming to life. There's another instance of this same sound on another track here, just to add a bit of interest in the higher register, because I've only got a small keyboard. I can't do two things. I can't really do two hands at once. The final elements of this piece are a couple more textural elements. I knew it needed just something more, just to kind of give it an extra bit of life. But I come to my limit of what I was doing with the samples from the fire. So I went and had a look actually at the factory sounds that come with that come designed specifically for the touche, because I hadn't really looked at them before, and fortunately found a couple of really interesting things just to add something extra. Firstly, to add something to the lower register, I found this bass sound, which is actually quite an aggressive sound, but it changes character in some really nice ways. What I did in the end was I just recorded, as you can see, a single MIDI note for the entire length of the piece. And then what I did was recorded a pass over it, just doing stuff with the touche. So, as you can see, there's loads going on throughout the entire piece. I did a similar trick with this sound. To add some interest in the top end, and it's got again that really nice glassy metallic quality with those kind of metal twinkly bits at the top, just to give it even more sparkle in the top end, and really it's the icing on the cake for this track. That's it really for this episode. This track was really a surprise for me, because I had no expectations of what it was going to be like going into it. If you've not heard it, or the rest of the EP, there'll be links in the description. I'll see you next time for the final episode and the final track, The Dust of Day's End. Thanks for watching.